It's Saturday, January 14th, 2023. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report. Hello VC, TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report here with another Saturday show for you. I've got a few interesting items, a revamped version of another feature, and a few other things going on. But let's get things started with this week's cover story. A 50-year nightmare for one of America's most popular musicians has finally ended. Billboard had a large feature on it this past week. John Fogerty, lead singer and principal songwriter for Creedence Clearwater Revival, has finally managed to get hold of his copyrights for all of his early music. These copyrights ended up in the hands of Fantasy Record, and Fogerty spent over 50 years fighting in court and with various corporations over his rights to those songs. He came to a deal with Concord Music, the current owners of his music, earlier in the month or late last month, and is now in partial possession of those copyrights. The question that it raises after a 50-year battle with numerous organizations is exactly why it happened. Copyright is something that a lot of people don't understand, and I've talked about it a number of times already on the Kirkham Report. When it comes to music copyright, quite often when you sign a recording contract, you sign away the rights to your copyright for the songs that you put on the label you sign with. They end up owning the record. That is exactly what happened with Fogerty and Fantasy Records back in the 1960s. He's been fighting a battle ever since then, trying to get rights to his songs back. Wouldn't even perform them in concert for many, many years until Bob Dylan told him, "Do you want Proud Mary to be known as a Ike and Tina Turner song?" It's a good battle, and it did end in a good way. Fogerty now has partial control, not total control, but still partial control over those copyrights, something which Concord was glad to share with them after a period of negotiation. But I actually have to wonder, in the day and age that we're in, where music is no longer made popular by radio, but by internet services like TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, are we really at a point where they don't need, or where they should be actually restructuring agreements to completely exclude copyrights for artists who sign with major labels? I think we are. It's high time the entire record industry got brought under the control that it should have had decades ago. Many record labels have outrageous contracts which end up taking advantage of artists to an unbelievable degree, and many of those artists don't see any actual return from their songs for decades afterward. Sure, there are the lucky ones, the ones that break huge and that write their own music, acts like Aerosmith and Madonna and John Bon Jovi, but it doesn't happen for all of them, and it's high time that the industry be completely overhauled so that new contracts make sure that the artists retain copyright control at least 51% at all times. The Fogerty decisions and the Fogerty fight makes this even more clear to the general public. Copyright is something that is going to be stymieing people a lot over the next couple of years as several more cases wind their way through the American court system, many of which are being decided by normal average Joes who have absolutely no knowledge of how the copyright laws work. I brought this up before too. It is high time Congress comes up with a law that specifically says that copyright, trademark, and intellectual property cases must be handled by juries consisting of experts in those fields and no one else. There is a precedent here. There has to be a new precedent set for the way copyright is run. Now, right now, copyright is affecting another major organization. The copyright on the 1927 version of Mickey Mouse from the film Steamboat Willie is finally expiring in 2024. Disney, who has been behind the scenes mechanization wise, responsible for a number of the copyright extensions passed over the years by Congress, does not seem to be making any move this time, because the uprising against the SOPA Act in 2010 has pretty much proven that the public will not stand for the entertainment industry's bullshit anymore. They are planning to exercise their trademark on the character, which is probably the way to go, although trademark laws also need some reforming, not nearly as much as the copyright industry does, though. It's an interesting topic, and it's one worth your time if you want to delve into it and see the battle that John Fogerty fought against Fantasy Records and its subsequent owners, against other people, and why it was so important for him to get that back. Songwriters must pay attention to what they're signing today, especially those who have already gained a following on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, some of whom have already lost rights because unscrupulous people are grabbing their music, posting it under their own name on music services like Amazon Music and Spotify, and reaping the rewards themselves. There's a lot of fraud that could be out there. There's a lot of taking advantage of that could be out there. And it must be made clear through legal means that artists retain their own rights to their own songs. We don't need another Fogerty case ever again. And that's this week's cover story. It's going to be a short and sweet out of the box this week. I got 2 CDs from Don and Mary in one of their recent auctions. Everybody's been beating me to the 45s, or they've had too much that have already had. I got some more 45s coming from them now, and I got some stuff from Record Crate coming, and a few other pre-orders that aren't here yet, plus black boxes on the way. But I picked up a couple of CDs. I think people are going to be surprised, because they can't imagine, Pop Guy, TC, liking them. But the truth is, I love these guys, and I have a number of their singles already. And these are, one is a full album, the other is a CD single from KMFDM. This is Extort, their album from, I believe this is from, 96. I first heard them when they were on one of the Mortal Kombat soundtracks, and I became a huge fan of their style of industrial pop, and I've been picking up stuff from them ever since. Extort came out in 1996, and the single that I picked up is from earlier than that, 1990. This is Godlike. So I will be listening to these in the near future. I love the way that they mix electronica with heavy industrial beats and danceable pop. In many cases, they're a lot of fun. So that's it for the recordings. But I did pick up something a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to show it last week, and I should have shown it probably on this week's Rank This, but I didn't think of it. I was unaware anything like this existed until I saw Bev talking about it over on her Clarkavision channel. I'm a huge fan of Bev's videos. Of course, she is a huge Def Leppard fan, Steve Clark in particular, and she showed this thing, and I'm like, Oh my God, I didn't even know this was out. I have to have it. So I ordered it. Spent a great deal of money on it. This is, look at how, this is bigger than a boombox. The Hysteria Def Leppard Pops set has the album, as you can see, and figures for Joe Elliott, Rick Savage, Steve Clark, Phil Collin, and Rick Allen. Absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, it is a Walmart exclusive. I don't normally deal with Walmart, but there was no other way to get it in the States. It's very rare that I do anything with Walmart because I just don't like their practices. I do make the odd exception, and this is one of them, because I wouldn't have been able to get it if I hadn't got it through Walmart. I'm sorry. And this is going to look really cool when the room gets set up. It'll be somewhere in here. You'll be able to see it and enjoy it. And I don't know if it'll be on camera all the time, but you'll see it every now and then. And that's it for Out of the Box this week. Question of the week this week. It's been a while since I did this, and this was super easy for everybody to answer. What song, what hit song, whenever you hear it on the radio, annoys you so bad that you're going to turn off the channel? I have a ton of those. I Can Help by Billy Swan, Groove is in the Heart by D-Light, Friday by Rebecca Black. I'm not going to listen to any of them. What hit song annoys you, absolutely annoys the hell out of you? Let me know in the comments or email me at the address in the show notes, and we will read a few of those responses and talk about them in a future episode. So don't let me down, people. Let me know what your most annoying songs are.
Vsak dan hočem, da si tu, kličem te zaman, s tem izgubljam glas, znova moj poraz, zmagam le v snu, zbudim se v tako mar, kaj je nočna mora, ljubezen ali ta past, da če ti preblizu sem, postanem kar pošast, iz tebe se usuje so z nežnih plas. Ko sem 8 korakov stran, pa ne morem
nothing and turning to vapor. The air is thin, the locks are set. You lift your chin, she feigns regret. Two high-speed trains on parallel tracks, running out of steam, not turning back. Two half-speed cars on parallel streets, never gonna crash, never gonna meet. She can't contend with what I'm selling.
Play 'em my home movies if they wonder who I was. Even if they don't, then play 'em just because. Let 'em see the highlights and don't forget the lows. Everybody's got a story no one knows. So just let 'em play until the credits roll.
There's a story I didn't know we'd write it. However long it took, it's an open book if you love surprises. There's a song underneath the silence. You can hear the crowd sing the words out loud in just the right pitch. But what we both didn't know was how far this thing would go.
Shout out of the week this week is to somebody that hardly needs one. And I don't think I've ever shouted her out before, but I have to be honest, I enjoy watching her channel immensely. I want to give a great big shout out to Melinda Murphy. Melinda Murphy is possibly the queen of the vinyl community. She has been around for many years. She is an avid rock and roll and jazz record collector. If you haven't seen Melinda's videos, you should watch them. They usually post Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. and they Eastern time, and they are always filled with great knowledge and Melinda's insights into all the titles she loves. Throughout watching her over the last couple of years, I have learned that she is a diehard Van Halen fan. In fact, she actually commented back on my comment to her about her latest show that she enjoys my show, which I am so flattered by. I enjoy watching her, especially when she gets riled about something, because it can be really funny and it can be really enlightening, because she's a very unflappable person on camera. But I really enjoy her passion about her music. She is passionate about Van Halen. She is passionate about the Beatles. She is extremely passionate about the Zombies. She also is not afraid to go out there and admit that one of her favorite albums is Sonny and Cher's All I Ever Need Is You, I think is the name of the album, because she listened to it all the time as a kid. Melinda is just dynamite all the way across the board, and I can't imagine anyone in the vinyl community that hasn't discovered her yet, because number one, she has thousands of subs, but number two, she's just an all-around nice person. And it's so nice to see women who are in the vinyl community as well as men, because I've heard that some men get really riled when women get involved. I'm not one of them. My wife is a huge music fan. Melinda is the same way, and she is 100% knowledgeable and sincere about it all. So if you are living under a rock and do not know who Melinda Murphy is, please check her channel out. She is absolutely dynamite. I enjoy the byplay I've had with her occasionally in the comments section. She is super nice when you write her on Facebook as well. I had a question or two for her, and she was right back with an answer fairly quickly. I really appreciate that as well. Melinda, I love your channel, and I hope you'll continue to watch mine as well. And keep going, because I love the way you represent what you love and your different opinions on things. They don't always jive with the vinyl community, and that is a very cool thing. Before I forget, next Monday, I will be live at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Two Hip Chicks channel as Dawn and I handle another live Finding Your Music Mojo. We have not yet finalized the topic for this week's show, but if you got an idea, drop it in the comments section. Dawn and I always have fun. Last time we did Rob Walker's 2023 vinyl tag. We had a lot of fun with it. Got a lot of great comments on it as well. And I hope that you will be over to watch us Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, Two Hip Chicks channel for Finding Your Music Mojo with TC and Dawn. That's going to wrap things up for this week. It's a very short show, I know. But there is a reason for it. I finally think there's going to be movement in this damn office. I have made arrangements. We finally have taken care of some problems, and hopefully, if not completely done, it'll be more than half done by the end of this 3-day weekend. We do have Monday off for Martin Luther King Day. I also picked up a brand new computer this week. I can't remember the exact model, but I actually spent more than I had planned, not more than I had budgeted, but more than I had planned on it, because this one I have now is nice, but it's going to be cleaned out and passed on to Kim for her own computer, and the new one is geared for gaming, which means it's going to be great for production and live streaming and stuff like that, and I hope to do more and more of that as the year goes on. And I really need something heavy duty, because the Obscurias, which last an average of about 4 minutes every morning, are taking 20 minutes to process, which is really insane with this setup I have. So I'm hoping with the new computer I'll be downloading Filmora 12, which has a bunch of new features on it, and be working with that. I'll be able to do a lot more on other things that I have that I've not started to use really. And eventually, I'm going to be a multimedia mogul. What do you think of that? In any case, the shows you will see starting probably Tuesday will probably be produced on the new machine, because I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon getting things moved over and set up and stuff, and I hope that it will make a big difference in my production. In any case, I do thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do it, and if you have, thank you. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Also, please leave a comment, because your comments mean a lot to me. They help me keep going. They give me ideas. They make me go on a tangent occasionally. And of course, I'm going to have some other videos up this week. I've got to do some video answers to some people in contests and stuff, and I hope those will be up over the next week as well. And I hope that you will join me here on the Kirkham Report next Saturday, and I hope you'll join me all the way through the week as we get going with the new schedule. Radio Retro Countdown is on Sundays at 4. Finding Your Music Mojo every other Monday at 6. This coming Monday is our next episode. It is over on the Two Hip Chicks channel this time, and Dawn and I will be talking music in some way, shape, or form at 6 p.m. Eastern Time live. Tuesday, Influencers at 4. Wednesday, Vinyl Recall at 4. Thursday, Rank This at 4. This Friday, we'll see the debut of Label Nova at 4. And next Saturday, right back here with the Kirkham Report. Until then, I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. Thanks for joining me. Have a nice day and a great long weekend. Ciao, baby.